All right, boys and girls, what is up? We are live as it is a new episode of Impact Showdown coming at you for May 29th, 2014. We are coming on just a little bit late tonight as I was multitasking tonight, guys. I was kicking back, checking out NXT TakeOver. So for you guys that had checked out that review and you're coming back for another dose as we're talking TNA wrestling, hey, appreciate you guys checking us out tonight. Hey, definitely want to get you guys involved in this, so definitely post those comments down below. Let me know what you had thought about tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling. And hey, this episode is being sponsored in part by our good friends over at Big Sky Wrestling, where the sky, hey, there's no limit as far as the sky goes. They cover all things wrestling, great music, comedy, entertainment. Check them out, bigsskywrestling.com. You can also check them out on Facebook and Twitter at, you guessed it, the same name. So show them some love. Check them out when you guys get a chance. Also, want to give you guys a heads up that you can interact with me during the course of this episode. Hit me up on Twitter, the RCWR Show, Facebook, Infinity One Productions. We'll definitely do our best to get you part of the discussion for tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling. Man, I'm going to be talking about Impact Wrestling tonight just a little bit kind of off the fly because there were a lot of parts that I had solved tonight's episode, and there were parts that I literally skipped because it just bored the hell out of me. It really looked like the talking continued this week. Little bit of wrestling here and there. Let's go ahead and let's talk about some of the bright spots that had came about from tonight's episode. Now, things had kicked off with MVP's money, power, respect. They're continuing to talk their big old hot mess. We had saw Bully Ray come out. Actually, Bully Ray had kicked off the show, and he kicked it off pretty good as he basically was saying to the Impact crowd that he had X amount of tables for MVP, Kenny King, Ethan Carter III, Bobby Lashley, Rockstar Spud. He vowed that no matter what, he's going to get his hands on those guys, and one by one, they will go through a wooden table. That much you could bet on. Now, eventually, we saw MVP's Money, Power, Respect come out, and basically, it looked like it was going to be a handicap beatdown, and it was for just a couple of seconds. We saw EY get in there. We saw Austin Aries get involved. And pretty much after we came back from a commercial break, it looked like these two teams, they were still going at it, and somehow things ended up becoming a 3-on-3 tag team match. Now, guys, I'm not really sure if that match had got a proper finish to it because as all this was going on, I was actually watching NXT TakeOver's Charlotte versus Natalya for the NXT Women's Championship, which was a really damn good match, too. And, I'm going to keep kind of mentioning NXT. I may mention it just a couple of more times because when you really think about it, Impact Wrestling was competing with NXT. So it was kind of critical how TNA was faring compared to NXT in that hour. And I must admit, as far as opening segments go, TNA really didn't hit a home run, I felt, because right when they had opened up, we had saw the former NXT Women's Champion Paige talking. I will give the edge as far as the talking goes because there was talking going on Impact as well for almost those first 15 minutes, right? But I would have to give the edge a little bit more to Bully Ray, seasoned veteran, no doubt. He knows how to talk on the microphone, whereas Paige was just a little bit kind of. And for you guys that might be kind of new to this whole talk of NXT, just have no fear. After you get done with this episode, just backtrack. You can check out our full in-depth review on WWE NXT. And maybe, who knows, maybe that might make you go check it out online or maybe go scoop up the WWE network or whatnot in case it has you curious like that. But yeah, those first 15 minutes, very critical, I have felt. And I must admit, just removing, for the sake of the argument, just removing the idea of NXT TakeOver being on and just dealing with that segment for what it was worth, Just a little bit of overkill for me, but I kind of like the fact that they almost dedicated 2 segments to basically wrestling to kind of make up for it. I don't believe we saw a proper finish though, but don't quote me on that because again, I was doing a lot of multitasking. But it wouldn't be the first time we would see MVP's money, power, respect stable, as later on in the night we had saw the beautiful and the lovely Southern Belle Dixie Carter and her nephew Ethan Carter III come out, and Dixie wanted to pick up on the conversation that she was trying to have with MVP before they got rudely interrupted by Bully Ray. And MVP came out with his stable. Dixie Carter basically had informed MVP what we've been kind of talking about for the past several weeks, and it's kind of funny how it's taken its own unique spin to it because we had an original vision for how things were going to be going down as far as Dixie Carter trying to talk with the board of directors, whatnot, to try to get MVP be removed from his day-to-day operations in TNA wrestling. But despite the fact that it went slightly in a different course, we still called it right, as Dixie Carter basically said to MVP, hey, I'm not really enjoying how you've been handling the day-to-day operations here. And honestly, you might want to try to work with me right now. We can either do it the hard way or the easy way. And pretty much the easy way, I'm guessing, and as we still don't know what exactly Dixie Carter wants, but I'm assuming Dixie Carter wants to form some type of an alliance or have her ban be lifted. I mean, not that the ban is even a damn factor because she's just popping up any damn way. So, but no, seriously, I guess she's trying to get into a position where she can get a little bit of power or whatnot, or a little bit of leadway in the company, or give or take. But we still did not hear exactly what Dixie Carter wanted. This time around, though, she did reveal that if MVP did not play ball, as we mentioned, she would go talk to the board of directors. Once again, we saw Bully Ray come out, but this time he wasn't alone, as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion EY was with him. And Bully Ray, he was looking to do a serious hurting on MVP's money, power, respect. And MVP had put Bully Ray and EY in a very, very interesting position, which was the two of these guys were going to be going at it in the main event match. And they had to wrestle one another. In particular, Bully Ray definitely had to go through with this match, as Bully Ray was trying to be the defiant one and say no, he wasn't going to go through with it. MVP informed Bully Ray that he would fire him right there on the spot if he did not go through with the match. Bully Ray had said, you know what, go ahead and fire me. I don't care. I'll quit. Whatever. We saw Dixie Carter step in and say to Bully Ray, are you really going to do that? Because if you are going to do that, then who is going to be here to stand up against MVP? Most importantly, who's going to be here to stand up against me and EC3? You're really just going to quit? You're not really a true New Yorker, as she started to bring in his residency into picture. And we saw Bully Ray reluctantly go on ahead and accept this whole match. But he stressed that he would never quit. He would never give up. He would continue to fight. Let's pause right there. We'll get to that main event spot in a little bit, because there's just a couple of areas that I saw with that I really wasn't too fond of. But for now, let's talk about some of the other matches that had came about from tonight's Impact Wrestling. Very brief. Once again, it just kind of really felt like we really didn't get that much sizzle of wrestling. There's those weeks where I'm used to getting 4 matches from Impact Wrestling, but the matches are just hella good. But I don't know, something tonight, it just kind of seemed a little bit off, and I'm not even thinking about NXT right now. For those of you that's going to be like, well, you NXT lover. No, I'm not even thinking about it right now, genuinely, okay? But one of the matches that we had saw was the team of Gunner, Mr. Anderson, picking up a victory over the Bromans. I thought that was a pretty solid tag team match. It was kind of funny what had happened post-match, though, in particular to the Bromans, as we had saw America's favorite circus act, the Menage a Trois, and I'm going to continue to call them the Menage a Trois. I don't care what you guys say. I don't care what you guys. I can hear you guys now. No, that's not their name, Lee. Their name is no. I have a running gag here, okay? And this running gag that I have right here, watch. We're gonna give ourselves our own unique RCWR show T-shirt, the Menage a Trois, and it's just gonna be inspired by the graphics that is of this little stable with Mike Knox and all that. But I'm getting sidetracked anyway. We had saw Mike Knox Menage a Trois stable. They came out and they actually had did a beatdown on the poor bromance, just tripping them out with their mind games and all that. Crazy Steve doing his little antics and all that. So you're kind of got the impression that okay, now we can know what to expect for the next coming weeks as far as the bromance go and the menage a trois. It looks like these guys are going to be getting involved in a program and everything. I'm fine for that. I don't mind seeing where it goes. And I mean, quite honestly, nobody does the whole comedy spill better than the bromance. They've been involved in some pretty decent stuff that'll make you chuckle and everything. If it's not EY, bromance definitely do a good job in having you have a laugh and everything. And hey, you know what? If it means we get to see the bromance on TV, man, I'm not complaining. I'm all fine for it. We had saw also. I'm trying to think. Brahm. He had a singles match against Tigre Uno. It was, and we had saw Brahm basically continuing to talk to Magnus, trying to get him all pumped up and everything, and basically have him be on the sideline watching this match. Basically, having Brahm you know, Braun was basically trying to have Magnus be in this position where it was like, okay, look, watch me, watch what I do. I'm going to have you get back to your old roots in no time. And we just saw Magnus just continue to deal with that whole confliction that he's been dealing with for the past couple of weeks, as we mentioned on last week's Impact Showdown, which really does not make any sense right now. And I would love for somebody to give me a definitive argument to justify what's going on with Magnus. I mean, I'm going to keep saying this until eventually I turn blue in the face, and that's going to be pretty hard given my complexion. But I'm going to keep saying it until TNA can like connect the dots right here. And if you missed it, let me just recap it in a nutshell. So Magnus does like any and every evil thing possible to become the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. He tries to win by any means necessary, right? Even if it means he has to get some hired help in the form of the Monster Abyss. So he's doing all this evil crap or whatever, or whatever, you know? He's doing dirty deeds. And yet he's conflicted now, and Brahm is trying to. I'm having a hard time processing it. I mean, unless there is like this evil, sadistic Samuel Shaw side of Magnus that we don't know about, unless that's the direction that TNA is trying to go with Magnus, I'm continuing to have a hard time processing it. And I said it last week. I'm going to continue to say it. They need to take this in a better direction, and I think the direction that they need to go is by having Brahm mention Magnus, his relationship with Mickie James. They don't even need to mention Mickie James by name. They could just have Brahm say to Magnus, ever since you got with that girl, and just phrase it like that, ever since you got with that girl, you just have not been seeing things straight. She has got you twisted, man. They could just basically set it up like that and be like, that girl's made you soft. Being over here in America has made you soft. They could just basically go at it like that. Would I like to see Magnus' girlfriend come back to TNA Wrestling to really help out with this story arc? Yes, I would, but if I were a betting man, I just don't really see it happening, unfortunately. I mean, she's so busy right now, getting ready to become a mother. She's still doing the whole country singing and everything. I just don't see her coming back to TNA Wrestling, at least not this calendar year. And this current story arc that's going on between Magnus and Brahm, which will no doubt culminate in these two guys getting it on in a series of singles matches. I'm just really getting the impression that as much of a cool idea as it would be to have Mickie involved, it's just not going to happen. But still, I like to see TNA go in that direction Just be like, her and the Americans is major soft. Go in that direction more, as opposed to whatever it is that they're trying to get across. We saw the beautiful and the lovely Brittany try to talk to Madison Rain and see if she would be interested in being her tag team partner to go up against the beautiful people's Angelina Love and Velvet Sky. Madison Rain turned her down. Remember, Madison Rain's been telling Brittany the past several weeks now that, hey, this fight that's going on between me and the beautiful people, this goes some years back. There's always been a little bit of a rough patch with the three of us. I am not trying to have you get involved in this because I don't want you to be responsible, or correction, I don't want to be responsible for whatever may happen to you. So, no, I'm going to fight this fight alone against the beautiful people. So, instead, we saw Brittany go ask Gail Kim if she would be willing to help her out. And Gail Kim said, you know what? Since it involves the beautiful people, yeah, sure, sign me up. So, to that knockouts match we go, which was a good knockouts tag team match, by the way. Once again, the daggone referee Stifler, he got distracted. And okay, look, let's take a pause right here and let's talk about this whole Stifler thing. The first week with the referee Stifler, okay, that's one thing. The second week, it's kind of like, huh, okay. Well, did we at least have the other girl from the beautiful people trick him this time? Or is it the same girl 2 weeks in a row? Things that make it go, But, I mean, to see this continue to happen like a third and a fourth week with this referee, I mean, I would hope that with the next episode of Impact Wrestling, senior referee Earl Hebner gets involved, and storyline-wise, because I'm not overthinking this either, folks. I'm watching it just like you guys, and when I see certain things play out as I'm watching it that first time, that first initial sitting, for me, the stuff just goes like that in my head. And I've been watching what's been going on with Stifler the past couple of weeks. And the first time I saw it go down, I'm on my piece. The second time is kind of like, huh. The third, I mean, we're like on like number 4 or 5 right now with this Stifler referee. You got to connect the dots right here. It has to make sense for the audience. The audience intelligence doesn't really need to be insulted like that. You TNA fans, you know what I'm saying? You guys' intelligence doesn't need to be insulted like that. Storyline-wise, they got to have Earl Hebner step in and be like, what is going on with you being distracted by the beautiful people? It's like every single time you referee a match involving the beautiful people, you know, you are like not really being focused, man. What's going on? Do I need to remove you from knockouts matches altogether? You know what I'm saying? And I have a very funny scenario that could occur with regards to this. What I like to see happen with Stifler, just as I said, I would like to maybe see him get removed from refereeing knockouts matches, or maybe he gets put on notice that if he continues to operate the way that he does, he's going to find some disciplinary action going down. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I would definitely love to see something like that play out, and then maybe we can get introduced to a new referee, or maybe it could be a new maybe it could be a referee we haven't like really seen in a while, because there's actually a couple of new referees that's in TNA wrestling. Here's the point that I'm making: the girls try to do the same antics that they did with Stifler on this new referee that's not a Hebner, and guess what would the swerve be when these girls try to put on their little seductive moves and all that other stuff, right? Guess what would happen? Wouldn't it be badass if it turns out that referee is gay? I would just love to see them try to rub themselves on this referee, and he just goes, honey, that's not going to work. And they're like looking and they're like, what are you talking about? And we just hear him go, I like men. And he just counts 1, 2, 3, as you just see the shocked look on one of the beautiful people's faces that's having the match in there. And they hear that, and whoever it is that they're taking on, whether it be Madison Rain, or it be Brittany, or it be Gail Kim, basically they just come up from behind, get the roll up, and you're just like, what? You know, that would be a nice little moment right there. I think you guys could buy into that, right? Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think about that. But, yeah, once again, I mean, we saw the beautiful people take advantage of Stifler. That's a hell of a name too, Stifler. Post match is where it got very what the hell. This is what I'm talking about. I love TNA. I try very hard to root on the guys and the women there, the production people, everybody, man. But I mean, when I see little silly stuff that just doesn't make sense, it infuriates me. And I'm not overanalyzing this. Just feel me on this. After this knockouts match is over, Brittany gets on the microphone and she calls out Madison Rayne. She says to Madison Rayne, okay, I tried to come at you earlier. I tried to get your help. You rejected me. Why did you reject me? I don't understand. And Madison Rayne had to reiterate herself again. So now you go back to Brittany, and Brittany's like, look, all I want to do is be with you. And the way she kind of pitched that made it seem like we were about to have a lesbian moment on TNA. I don't know about you, but that would have been a hell of a moment to see those two girls going at it. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't quite go that route, but I couldn't help but have a light chuckle because as soon as I saw how this segment was playing out, I couldn't help but think about the segment that had came about from Heidi Lovelace and Taylor Hendricks in OVW. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. Go do some research on that. But I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's going to go on that route. Let's see what happens. But here's where there's a little bit of inconsistency here because it's like Brittany doesn't really accept the answer that she got from Madison Rayne, and she just starts flipping the hell out. Why don't you like me? What's your problem with me? I'm just trying to be like you. What do I have to do to make you like me? Well, I don't get it. And she's just flipping the hell out, and it's kind of like, honey, we've been watching you now for like about, what, 2+ months. You've been this nice, quiet, calm, collected girl. Where's this coming from? This is the thing that I'm talking about. If you go back and you connect the dots from the moment that Brittany had made her debut to now, there's no looking back and saying, okay, the seeds were planted early on that this girl wasn't quite right in the head. You know what I'm saying? I challenge anybody that doesn't feel me on that, just go back. If you have time and you're a huge Brittany fan, just go back, pull up from her debut to now, just her appearances on Impact alone, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It just makes no sense, and this is the problem that I have with TNA Wrestling. It's the number one problem that I have with them, besides their marketing and promoting their events, which I'll talk about in a little bit, as I have a little bit of good news to share with regards to that. This is the problem that I'm talking about as far as their writing goes with some of these characters, is there's inconsistency. When there is good consistency, and the writing and the storylines are on point, TNA is, I will give them praise any day of the week, but I was having a hard time processing this. Made no sense to me whatsoever. We saw the beautiful people come back out, and they basically tried to justify what Brittany was experiencing with Madison, saying, you're witnessing the real Queen Bee. And Queen Bee had revealed that she still has her rematch clause for that Knockouts Championship, and she's going to be making sure she has that match go down on next week's Impact Wrestling. I'm going to give an early projection right now. If I was booking this right, if I was writing this, where you go from here, I strongly feel that where you go from here is you have Brittany somehow try to show up in Madison's corner for this match, and basically you can have her inadvertently screw Madison out of her opportunity to become a Knockouts champion again, or you can just let that rage and all that other stuff just take over, and she just has a psychotic breakdown, because the way they're trying to project her right now, they're trying to make her out to be a crazy bitch. Let me know what you guys think about that, all right? If you're enjoying our recap and review, let me know. Post those comments down below. Get the interactions going on and everything. Not really too much else had happened from tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling. I think we covered just about everything that came about, except for the main attraction of the night, which was Bully Ray taking on Eric Young. Here's another one that just kind of had me scratch my head a little bit. But the payoff was sweet at the end. I will say that. I don't want to go into too much detail about some of the problems that I had with this particular matchup because I like the finish that they did at the end. All right. And what they did at the end was really good. We didn't see a decisive victor in this match, first of all, as we saw Bully Ray give a strong boot to the face of Ethan Carter III after he tried to inject himself into this match, as Ethan Carter was announced by MVP as the special guest referee for this match between EY and Bully Ray. And once EC3 was taken out, we actually had saw MVP, Bobby Lashley, Kenny King, who were at ringside watching this match go down, come in and they tried to get the jump on Bully and EY. When all of a sudden, and we had not seen this guy for at least a couple of months now, it was the Samoan bulldozer, Samoa Joe. Yes, Joe's gonna kill you. Joe came back. Looked like he lost a little bit of weight too, man. Looks pretty good. Just came in, cleaned house, evened up the odds in a tremendous, tremendous way. As I got to take a pause again. What's going on with Austin Aries? Austin Aries has not been feeling MVP, so I mean, you got him involved in there. Bobby Roode definitely pissed off with MVPs, but he's on hiatus for now. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that Samoa Joe came back, but the thing that I'm kind of having a hard time processing right now is just where exactly is TNA going with Bobby Roode and Austin Aries, who are both pissed off at MVP, Money, Power, Respect, and most importantly, does TNA even know what they want to do with Bobby Roode and Austin Aries as far as having them be affiliated with EY, Samoa Joe, Bully Ray, Money, Power, Respect? Because there's not really any other options for those two cats to get involved in right now. And I'm really kind of getting the impression that TNA isn't really sure what to do. Here's the point that I'm making. Don't be too surprised if in the next couple of weeks, Money, Power, Respect, they add some more names to their stable. And if what I'm hearing is right, we could be possibly seeing some MMA fighters get involved in that Money, Power, Respect stable. And I know how some of you guys feel about the whole MMA thing, especially with King Mo Lauer, as I like to call him, King Mojo Jojo, getting involved in there and everything. But MMA fighters are not. I would expect that MVP stable, it's going to grow a little bit more. He's going to need at least 2 to 3 more people so that they can kind of balance out bringing in Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, because at some point you got to have these guys be involved in the program with these cats, with all these cats that's involved, because it kind of seems like further down the road we're possibly going to be seeing like how many names did I just mention right there? Basically like 5 names per team, right? So we're possibly going to be seeing some type of an elimination 5-on-5 tag match with some type of a weird stipulation on the line. Maybe MVP's power is up for grab. Who knows? But I love the fact that Samoa Joe is back. I've missed this guy tremendously. Other honorable mention we should point out to you guys, they had showed an update from Kurt Angle via his video diary logs that he's doing on his YouTube channel. And nice little update right there. I guess TNA is kind of saying to themselves, hey, we need to capitalize on this because Kurt Angle is still under contract to us at least until this fall. I just really hope that if TNA is going to continue to show this footage of Kurt Angle and how he's doing and everything, I hope they have a firm freaking handshake or they've already signed him to a new deal, because that would be freaking hilarious if next couple of weeks leading on up to supposedly when his contract expires, Kurt Angle's got all these comeback videos popping up on TNA programming when in actuality it turns out he was just doing this whole campaign really as a way of letting folks know that he's coming back to the WWE. I mean, you talk about the ultimate bitch slap to TNA wrestling. Let's be for real, that would be the ultimate bitch slap to TNA. You know what I'm saying? Using their platform to basically hype up a WWE return. That's what I'm saying. I'm really hoping that TNA Kurt Angle or his agent, whatever, that they have some type of an agreement or something, or maybe they've tacked on X amount of days to the end of his contract to make up for the X amount of days that he's currently going to be missing right now while out on injury. But overall tonight, a little bit of rough areas for tonight's Impact Wrestling show. You know, it makes me really question going to New York City for the tapings of Impact. And I just found out Great Muta is going to be out there and everything. And as far as TNA wrestling headlines go, it's been relatively quiet. But speaking of those New York City Impact Wrestling tapings, it looks like coming up at the Slammiversary pay-per-view, it looks like the Von Erich family is going to be involved in that in a huge way. Yeah, they had announced it on their Facebook page. It looks like Ross and Marshall Von Erich are going to be making an appearance at that Sunday, June 15th Slammiversary event. That should be pretty awesome. I don't know about you guys. I've always been a fan of the Von Erichs. Lacey Von Erich, eh, yeah, hey, but I still love the Von Erichs nonetheless. But yeah, I'm really questioning going to the New York City tapings now for Impact Wrestling. I'm just not really too keen on what I've been seeing the past couple of weeks. And, you know, I want to support TNA. Don't get me wrong. I really want to. I want to support them coming over here on the East Coast and everything. But the type of quality that they've been given the past couple of weeks is just not quite up to par, which sucks big time because they've got the right type of talent that's there, contrary to what some folks may feel as far as the AJ Styles, the Daniels, the Kazarians, the Stings, the possible Kurt Angles, the Jeff Jarrett's, all being gone from the promotion. They actually got a pretty great roster right now. It's just some areas needs great improvement. I tell you what, though, if anybody's gonna be in the New York City area, or if you live in the New York City area, and maybe you want to go to one of those Impact Wrestling tapings, send me a private message here on YouTube, or you can email me. And I do have a ticket for sale. I'll definitely give it to you guys. I was going to purchase another ticket for day 2, but I say, you know what, one day is good enough for me because I got a lot that's going to be going on in the month of June, as I'm going to be zigzagging all over the place as far as wrestling related events go. So if anybody's interested, hit me up with a message. We'll try to see if maybe we can work out a fair deal for you. But other than that, boys and girls, it's pretty much been quiet. I was talking about Brittany earlier. She actually did a really great interview with my good friends over at the TNA Insider website. Go check it out, as it was an exclusive fan interaction interview that was conducted amongst the TNA Insider community. And in case you guys don't know, you can actually interact with me on there. I actually spent a lot of my time chatting it up with folks on there. You can find me as the Black Avenger, all right? So you'll know me when you see me. I got a nice little avatar and everything, but make sure you show that some love. Give that a good read. I thought Brittany had some very interesting things to say in that interview. One of the things that she mentioned in particular was which future knockouts would she possibly like to see come up in TNA, and she gave a nod to some girls that she had worked in the Shine Wrestling promotion with. Let's get to what you guys have to say about tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling. I'm very curious. This is my favorite part. Let's pull you guys' comments up. We'll take it from the bottom, and we'll work our way to the top. And for you NBA fans out there, I want to give you guys a heads up on the current score right now, as we have the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Right now, guys, it looks like a mini Mall. No, seriously. Let's see what's going on with the game right here. It's final, guys. The Spurs have defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder 117 to 89. I repeat, the San Antonio Spurs have defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder 117 to 89. As a result of that, the Spurs move on to the NBA Finals. Yes. So it looks like the way things are looking right now, it is going to be the Spurs taking on Miami Heat. Actually, no, correction. Because the last game, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Indiana Pacers, if I'm not mistaken, they had won that game. So they've definitely forced, I think, a game. Trying to think what game did they force? Did they force a game 5 or 6? Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Eastern Conference Finals is still going on, unfortunately. But hey, at least we know one of the pieces that's going to be involved there in the NBA Finals. But let me just make sure I'm giving you guys the right information right here, because I remember when I was watching the other game last night, I was doing a little bit of multitasking again. So let me make sure that we got that right for you guys. Yeah, yeah, I said that right. So yeah, it looks like on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, you can watch it on ESPN. It looks like you're going to see Game 6 between Indiana and Miami. Heat right now, they lead 3 games to 2. Heat has the opportunity right here with Game 6 to end it. But yeah, Spurs looks like they're getting an early start as far as the Western goes, as they await the winner from Indiana versus Miami. All right, let's see what you guys have to say right here. I don't really see that many comments coming in. If there are tons coming in, I'll definitely be able to see them after I get off of here. So just bear with me. I'll definitely reply to what you guys have to say. Innocent 5, instead of another male ref, Turnell could come out to be the ref. Oh, Taryn Terrell is what you're saying. Not Tarnell. I thought it was Terrell. Taryn Terrell. You got me second guessing now. I'm pretty sure that it's Taryn Terrell, not Tarnell. Yeah, it's Taryn Terrell, spelled Terrell. But I know who you're talking about. That would be a nice way to bring her back, I think. No doubt about it. I definitely would agree with you on that. That'd be a great way to bring her back. And it looks like that's all the comments that's coming in right now. So if you guys are saying stuff, I don't see it right now. Sometimes it happens that way. I'll definitely get to what you guys have to say as soon as we go off the air. But keep those comments coming. Let me know what you thought about Impact Wrestling tonight. Now, for you WWE fans, I want to give you guys a quick programming note, all right? We have this Saturday our weekend edition of the RCWR show. That's our radio edition. All right, check it out, blogtalkradio.com. We'll come on at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're covering the latest in wrestling headlines, entertainment stuff. Great show, man. It's my favorite show out of the whole entire week because we just go a little bit all over the place, real fun, laid back. We have a good old time. So join us for that. And Sunday, we have the WWE Payback post-show simulcast. You'll be able to catch it on Blog Talk, and you'll be able to catch it live right here on YouTube. I would highly encourage you guys to join us as we talk about fallout from that Payback pay-per-view, because I definitely want to know what you guys think about it. Our phone lines will be open, as you'll be able to call in. Let us know what you thought about the pay-per-view. We'll be utilizing the best out of social media. Make sure we get you all involved so you all can participate. So join us for that post show. It'll be coming on this Sunday, June 1st at 10:45 p.m. Eastern, or immediately after the pay-per-view has concluded. For all the very latest in wrestling news and beyond, Be Kind Rewind. We got episodes available for you all on SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, man. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. In case you don't know, you're about to know. The RCWR show now has a new store. Check out the links down below. Hook you guys up. We got some great stuff in there. You can get yourself some keychains, some mugs, you name it. Best part, all proceeds that we're able to make, or profits that we're able to make from the merchandise, goes right back into the show so that we can do cool contests and all that good stuff for you guys. And you're actually going to be seeing new original designs, like as far as t-shirt logos go and all that, in our store. Right now is my personal favorite. I had designed it along with my friend. The Lee Sanders Marinate on This t-shirt. You guys got to go check it out. It's a great grab. And if you don't see your respected size, you got the contact info, so you can hit us up and let us know what size you need, and we'll definitely do our best to hook you up. But check out that store, man. Represent. All right, boys and girls, that is gonna do it. Until I hear from you guys this weekend for our weekend edition of the RCWR show, and also our WWE Payback post show. I want to wish you all to be safe and be kind to one another. I will see you next go round. Everybody, take care.